We got some trap music here. We're going to talk about some lighting today. Time to get down.
Yeah, we got some good lighting going on here. I should have more like red for Christmas time, right?
I put some red over here. That's why there's some red flashing on this side.
I totally could do the same thing. Pretty good beat.
Yeah, I love it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be talking about lighting your studio today with Joe Eves. How you doing, Joe?
So good. How you doing, Christina?
I'm doing good. And we're going to be getting into some channel reviews like we always do. If you don't know yet, the whole reason we do this is that we actually have a course called the YouTube Real Estate Video Geeks, and we help you arrange your channel so you can get good, qualified, easy leads right from the get-go. So Joe and I have been doing this almost a year now.
Yeah.
And now we've worked out all the bugs, and you'll be seeing some new things come out. So very exciting stuff. Looking forward to 2024. It's right around the corner.
It's going up fast.
I know. And if you haven't yet, this is the perfect time to get your lighting in order. So I saw on Amazon some lights that were for sale. And I'm going to tell you some of my lighting mistakes before we get into the good stuff. I don't know if you've done this before, but I bought, because everybody told me, you got to get this. You got to get this. I bought a ring light. Have you ever used a ring light?
Yeah.
They were the thing to buy. Like everybody kept saying, oh,
everyone had them. Get a ring light.
Get a ring light. Get a ring light. And don't get me wrong, they do light really well around your face. But unless you're a beauty blogger, they look really stupid.
Yeah.
They look really stupid. And then I used to take my photos with those ring lights, and it made this weird ring in my eye.
In your eyes, yes.
Yeah. And I looked at some of my old recordings, and I'm like, they make you look possessed. They really do. But sometimes I will use a ring light as like almost like a reflective light off of a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because I spent all that money on it. Back in the day, ring lights in 2017 were expensive. And so, they were huge too. It was like this big. So I bought that ring light.
Yeah.
So I use it for like
one like right over there, and they're massive and they're super bright. But yeah, they were cheap at one point, and then they went up because everybody wanted one.
Right. Yeah. And like, it was this one specific one that everybody was talking about back in 2017. So I bought that ring light because I didn't have any lighting because I was just using the window, at the time. And yeah, at first I was like, this is great. I look so professional, but it really wasn't good. I didn't know. I knew nothing about this stuff. I never had done any of that, but you live and you learn. So first thing I'll tell you, don't buy a ring light. Don't buy one.
It's funny. It's actually, if you have a window, it's actually better to film with a window and use the window, a natural light. And if it's too bright, you can hang like a sheet or something and diffuse that light a little bit so that it's softer. But so you don't necessarily have to get that. But obviously, if you're in a room like we both have, more lights to set up and everything. And sometimes it's better because you can control everything and the look is the same every time, rather than if you're filming and you're using your window light and you're normally filming at noon and then, it's 5:30 and you're filming. Now all of a sudden the light's in a totally different direction or gone, and now you're stuck. So I highly, highly recommend lights, just because then you can control what the look looks like every time.
Right. And not only that, like the weather changes, like sometimes like the sun will go behind a cloud as you're in the middle of like trying to
Yeah.
film,
And you'll see it change. Yep.
Yes.
You'll see it change. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I used to do it in front of, and this is how stupid I was also about lighting. So I used to film a lot in my living room, and I would have the brightness of the windows behind me. So it like didn't work. Like
you got like, it's like
doing.
blowing out in the back, and then you're all shadowy and everything.
Yep. So then I offset it with the ring light, which still made it look very strange. Very strange.
Yeah.
It was a lot of playing around with stuff. But I found that the best, cheapest lighting, if you're gonna like do it in your living room or whatever, is you can get those umbrella lights with the LED light bulbs inside.
Yep.
Those are good. And then I got the box lights. That was my next purchase, and you can buy them so cheap now. Like I think even then they were less than $100 for 3
Yeah, I was
lights.
gonna say they're really inexpensive. They also now have, because like a lot of times people don't have a big, the problem with like the soft box and stuff like that is they do
Mhm.
take up a lot more space. So I have one like for my key light right here,
Mhm.
and it's big. And so like, and I have space that I can do that. But a lot of people, when they're setting up their studio or their little nook or like wherever they're filming, they may not have that. And so, you know, these LED lights that are they have the basically the newer brand has a very flat light that will give you that softbox look, and it's diffused. But yes, that right there.
Mhm.
And you can change what's cool about it is you can change colors, you can do all of these different things, but it's very, very flat. So you can still get, instead of it like being super like direct and cost crazy shadows and stuff, it'll soften that light, but they're also really small, so you're not having to take up a ton of space. Because I know some people are like, well, I only have like this little area, like this corner that I can film in, and so having like a kind of a lighting system presents a challenge, because a lot of people don't realize that, like when you're filming it, some people are like, oh, I got to put the light like straight over my face and
I've
put
done
it,
that too.
yeah, put it like right on you, instead of kind of off at a 45 and kind of on an angle down, and then soften it out a little bit and then use the lights in the back um to kind of change your background color or whatever. And you can actually have like another light for like a key light, or like the back light that will kind of light up the back of you so you can see
Mhm.
that kind of glow. I don't have mine on right now, but it is a kind of a cool effect. But I don't I don't think it makes that big of a difference. I think it's more your key light and then the colors that you choose or the lighting you choose. But a lot of times, and you probably notice this too, is a lot of times people turn the light as bright as it can go.
Mhm.
And so if it has a dial, they're like cranking it up and then they're blown out. And they're
Yeah.
like, why is it that my face is got crazy shadows on it and really hard lines rather than something soft? So, and if it doesn't
Yeah.
have a dial, then you can put like a sheet or something over to diffuse it. But a lot of these newer lights have a that you can adjust the like how strong it is.
So Ann Stewart asked a question. She's like, "What's the best lighting?" And I'm going to tell you, lighting is probably the one of the least expensive things to amp up your production value.
Yeah.
And you could start off with those soft boxes if you have the room to put them in. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the angle that you set them at, and it will take you a hot minute to figure out exactly how good it looks. And who taught me about lighting was Brad McCallum. And then once he taught me and I got it in my brain, I'm like, oh, okay. Because you just need one good key light, one that's like not directly on your face, like Joe said. I have it off to the left hand side that kind of lights one side of my face brighter than the other side of the face. Then I have one soft box that actually reflects light against that wall. So that way it has a even softer light hitting my right side. So there's still a shadow on the right side.
But it's bouncing off the wall and
Mhm.
lighting it so that it's more, there's less of a hard shadow.
Correct, correct. And then behind me, I have you can actually even see these lights right here. Behind me, I have those lights. And then I use that newer light to hit the wall. So it makes it really dark in the background with those lights kind of giving it some atmosphere. I tried to put I know that people like will put a light right behind them or underneath their chair so it lights behind them. I have not had success with that myself personally. I don't know what what that problem is. But I used to use like little lights like this to light behind me. And it
Yes.
worked good enough.
Yeah, they Anne asked the question again. She said, "Sorry, can you say that again? What lighting type off the side of you? Is that a softbox or?"
Yes. This right here is a softbox and it's reflecting against the wall. Let me see. It's just reflecting off the wall. Those are my noise canceling little panels right there. This is where I put my camera. And then I have right here, you see, this is my big key light right here. And this is the one I can adjust. I can adjust the lighting. So that way it makes for a better.
You can dial it down, or you can.
It's at like a 5. It can go all the way to 100, and it's at a 5.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I
gotta set this stupid camera back up.
I gotta get some but here I gotta get some Dramamine after that. Oh man. Okay. So, but here's the thing: is that a lot of people think, they think, oh, I gotta go buy like the nicest camera. I've got to go buy like I'm not getting good quality video because I need a newer camera. And honestly, it's your lighting. A lot of it is your lighting. If you do the lighting correctly, you can make your iPhone footage look really, really good, like almost as if it was a DSLR. Like it's really, the lighting is so important, but so many people either do it wrong or they don't put enough emphasis on it. And so then, it doesn't look clear and it doesn't look good. But that's such a low budget thing that you can do to just enhance your production quality 100 times.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so the one that's reflecting against the wall is a softbox. The one that's in the corner over here, I call it my key light. It's like an umbrella light. You could use a softbox. It would be totally fine to use that. I just happened to upgrade it when I moved into this little house. It was the first time. I've been doing YouTube since 2017. I just got this light last year. I mean, it wasn't necessary. Honestly, I just wanted it. I wanted a fancy light bulb. And then that newer one that I put as far as like reflecting color on the wall, I think it's like $125 or something like that, isn't it? Is that how much it is now? Uh-oh. Did I lose you? And can you hear me talking? Because I can't hear.
I got muted somehow.
Oh, you must. Yeah, I can hear you. I didn't do it.
You're like, stop talking.
Stop talking.
So like what I've done, yes, you can get like one newer, I think they have 2 of them for like $200 or something like that, but they're adjustable and you can connect them with your phone, so you can change like the color of the light and everything. So if you want to mess with it, that's the other thing that I like, is when you have complementary colors. This is more of kind of an orange color and then kind of like a blue. So it casts 2 different colors. It kind of gives a different look than if I were to use one color on both sides, and you can kind of adjust with that and look at a color wheel and kind of mess with that. I've seen a lot of videos that use kind of a light color and then like a purple with it. Like it's really cool looking. So like you just kind of test it. But these lights, I think Amazon, you can buy them for like $200 or $217, and they're plenty. It comes with the stand and everything. I mean, it's just like this right here. It's just like, now I got like a light on me. Look at that. That's a pretty bright light. But
I'm gonna pull up one of the things from Amazon just for everybody to see, because you do not have to go crazy. And like I said, it's one of those things that will really like amp up your production value so much just by adding a few lights. You're like, oh my God, this looks so much clearer, even if you're filming with your cell phone.
Yep.
So
100%.
let me, I'm going to present this. Yeah. And Jen brought up a good point too. It's good to like test your lighting too, especially if you wear glasses.
Typically on the angle will make it so where they don't see that direct reflection from your glasses.
Yeah. Yep. I have yet to, it's hard for me to master that because I only wear reading glasses. So I only wear it for a short period of time. So I figure if it's reflecting for that short period of time, oh well. I don't worry about it too much. But here's the light that's over there that I call my key light. It looks like this. And then I put that big umbrella over top of it. The big waffle cone thing over top of it. But that's what that is. And then you can get 2 of those like newer type panel lights that I was showing earlier. You can get those for $300. Oh yeah, look, and this whole set, 2 soft boxes, 2 umbrella lights, a green screen, a bunch of poles, all sorts of extra stuff here for $150.
Yeah, and that's just to get started. I mean, there's so
Yep.
there's so many different lights, but you don't really need, look at that, $62 for the 2 softbox right there.
This is what I started with. This is exactly what I started with, 2 soft boxes. And then I didn't realize I needed a third one. But really, you really should have 3, honestly.
Yeah, the whole idea is you get the 2 on the side, and then you have a key light off to one of the sides, either your left or your right, and then it kind of creates that separation and soft look. But those soft boxes really make a big difference when you're when you tone it down. So because you definitely don't want it to where it's like blowing you out, and then it's like your skin's reflecting and stuff like that.
Well, like this one right here, it actually shows you, it does it in like warmer light, cooler lights, and true light. This one will actually, so that's really good too. Like these are so much better than they were several years ago. Like the selection, the newer didn't even have these. This is what I have, is the aperture. This one, let me show you how stupid expensive this thing is. Can you still see it?
Yep, I have the same one too.
Yeah.
They're pricey, but it's a great light though.
It totally is. It totally is. But yeah, I spent the $279. This is the one I have. So dumb, but I wanted it.
Hey, but again, if you have the room, again, these are bigger. The soft box is bigger, and when you have that, then you have to have a heavier duty tripod or stand.
Correct.
Because it'll tip over if not. So these little ones are like a smaller stand, but when you get into these bigger lights, you have to have a bigger stand to carry it. And they're great because you can really extend it high. You can do a lot of stuff with it, but it all kind of adds up.
And if you're going to buy the 2 soft boxes, make sure you get one more, the third one. That it will help a lot. And they have the single one. I think it was $37 for a single. So if you get the 2 soft boxes over here, yeah. So $62 for this. And then you get one more. I think it was down here. It was $37. Yeah. You can get one over here for $49. There was one more that was like $37, but just get 3 because you need that third one.
Definitely want that third.
Here it is.
Third light. Yep.
Yep. $39. So that's what I would do. Christina says yes.
Yes, she says. The other thing with that one is they do have like a screw-in light bulb, so you can adjust. Like you can try different like bulbs. That one might be a little cooler, but you could go grab another bulb that is like a smart bulb that you could adjust like how warm or cool it is.
Yep. Now, if you want to add something kind of fun in the background, like that against the wall, to add, I'm sure you've seen it like in other people's videos. You're like, oh, they have one like small light that's making different colors. These little lights right here will do that. I have a bunch of them. Like anytime you go to a conference, there's always there's always some vendor that's giving one of these away free. So that every time you go, you get about 4 or 5 of them after a while. The only thing that stinks about these is that you have to charge them. And after like a year or 2, they kind of lose their gumption, I guess.
You just go to Vid Summit every year and you can get a new one.
Yeah, I go to Vid Summit every year, get a new one. Yeah.
But those are cool too because they do have different like powers as well. So those ones can go brighter or not as bright, or you can go with like another accent where you can buy something and then put a bulb in there that is less light to kind of give that to you. So you can really get creative with your background, but having those lights really help like sell what you're trying to do.
Let me see. I didn't know if this would let's see if it'll work. Is
that one charged?
Let's see if it will do anything, because I put it on the charger. No, it's not doing anything. We'll go back to it, but it will change any color you want. These little lights will change it to any color you want. You can keep them clear, but you don't have to.
So if you're wanting to put something behind you, you've probably seen it where there's a blue color or a red
Pink.
or purple, pink, whatever. They're just
Mhm.
leaning it up against the wall, turning it on, and it's casting up against the wall. And then you have a little bit of separation from you and the wall. Here's the other thing, and we can talk about this later. Do I have Christmas lights in the background?
Well, you have those little lights, those Hollywood lights behind you.
Oh, that's just an LED strip. I could change those
Mhm.
to like, you can like go all different. I just like the look of it, so I put it on there. I'm like, yeah, I like it. I'll mess with it. I actually have, those floating shelves.
Yeah.
I'll show you. Like they actually have a little light, and you can press the button, and then it shines a light up, so you can like accent like certain things if you want or whatever. But all I did is get those floating shelves, and then I installed them upside down, so the lights weren't shining down, they were shining up. So Vid Summit is about a year.
Yeah.
So,
She wants to know. It's in October usually. Yep. And then
yeah.
this one, this light right here I have with all the lights on it. You see the stars and the purple light. You're gonna die when I tell you this. That's for actually for babies. It goes on the ceiling and it's supposed to calm them to go to sleep. You can hit the button and it will move around. All the little lights will move around, but it also has a stationary light. And I thought, well, that looks really cool. I got it during COVID to distress, because
Yeah.
having people in your house all 24/7 makes it a little stressful. So I bought it then, and then when I found out it didn't move, I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool. So I put it in a background of a video, and I was like, I just thought it looked so sharp. I use it all the time. And that cost me, I think, $35 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is there's not like a right or wrong way to set up like your
Mhm.
background or your studio. There definitely is a right or wrong way of doing your lighting. And so you want to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure that you practice with that and do those types of things. But honestly, you can have, like, what I found is when you're making videos, if you have the stuff that you like, and it's conversation starters in the comments, because people will talk about, oh, you have that in the background. Would tell me about that or whatever. So it really can help you get more engagement.
So you can get one of the projectors now. This is $35, and this one you can make it any color. And you can make it like the stars move or not move. You can turn off the stars. You can do all sorts of stuff. And they're, look, $35. They're so good. Can you see that? Did you see that, Joe?
Yep.
This thing?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, mine is just one, but this has several. And
Yeah,
they're neat. It's surprising how much it can cover too.
They're saying, can you show us a little closer the book spotlight? It's actually it's just a floating shelf that I got on like Amazon, and then it just had these built-in LED lights. I just installed them upside down. Do you want to see if you can find something like that on there, like a floating shelf with a built-in light?
I was looking at the other thing. I think we're gonna get that shelves with lights.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is it's like a like
Oh, there's your strip of lights right there.
yeah, they were like $10, I think. Yeah, that one right there with the little picture on it. Do you see that?
This one.
The picture in the plant. Either
Yeah.
one, or the other. They have
Mhm.
all I did is it has the light going down. I just flipped it over and installed it so that when I put the stuff on there, yes, then the lights shone up onto the book
The wall.
Yes, exactly. And
Very
they're just
smart.
little lights, and you just put AA batteries in them, and then obviously sometimes you forget to turn them off, and then they're dead. So then you got to have a bunch of batteries.
Oh, speaking of that, for like a background thing too, because I always forget about the batteries. Here, hold on. I gotta show you. So
Where'd you go?
Yeah, out here. So I always have this thing. This light, it's fake. This candle. Can you see me?
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
make your like close the window out, and then we can see your browser. There you go. Now let's see it. There we go.
Yeah, it's a candle. It's a fake candle.
And
that works as a great background thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just a little something. And it's funny because it takes was it not triple A, it's D cell batteries. And the only reason I have this thing to this day is I bought so many D cell batteries when my daughter was born in 2003. I have a surplus. To this day, I'm still using
You're like,
the
I'm
D
using
cell batteries.
one of those batteries.
Yeah, because of the stupid because they, like those baby things, those baby swings, they used to take
Yeah.
D cell
Oh,
batteries.
right. I forgot about that. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and I bought like a truckload of D cell batteries because my daughter lived in that thing until she got so big it wouldn't move anymore. And I thought, this thing is broken. No, she just got too big for it. But I had all those leftover batteries. And so now I'm still using them up. They still work, believe it or not. They're like, batteries aren't fresh after, so many years. They expire. Well, they're perfectly fine for that, what I use it for. So.
I think kind of going back to what you just said, there's things that you can use and test and try to like enhance your video or your studio, and just little simple things like a little bit of light makes such a big difference. And so mess with it and kind of test it. There's, like whatever. I think that's what's awesome about YouTube is you put your own personality into it and the things that you like.
I'm gonna see if my camera will work. I've been having trouble with this stupid thing all day. I don't like this webcam. It's driving me crazy because it's like barely hanging on there, like barely hanging on with a thread. Let's see if I can switch it out. And I was gonna talk about this too because it sucks. Let's see. Yeah, it works. Yay.
There it is.
Yeah, it works. When you're doing live streams and stuff, it's so difficult because the screen changes your lighting so quickly.
Yeah.
It really, like the brightness and then you go to the next one, it's dark, and it will change your whole thing going on your live stream. And you could have your lighting set up perfectly. And the moment you open up a website or, open up another screen, it changes everything. So just FYI, that happens.
Yeah, and the thing that I've found if you're doing a live stream, kind of like what we're doing right now, is if you push because I have my laptop like right here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know what just happened. I probably just froze my thing here. Let's see. Like my laptop's right here, but it's pushed like pretty much to the edge, to like the edge of the desk. Mm-hmm. So then it's away, and then I just lower the brightness just a little teeny bit, but it's not great if you're trying to read something because then you're like, what is that? But there are little tips and tricks that you can do, or have your laptop off to the side, kind of like with your key light, to help you out there. But it is problematic when you're live streaming if you have a big screen and then you open up a browser and it's just bright white for a second and it just flashes or whatever. So
I didn't even think about turning down the brightness on your screen. Yeah. Is there a way you can do that in your settings? Like if you have like a Microsoft?
Well, I'm sure there is one. Like on if you see how I'm getting brighter right now.
Yeah, it's easy on a Mac.
Yeah, you just hit the bright. But I think I would imagine that you could go into like display in your control panel, and you might be able to lower it that way. But if you're on a Mac, you can just lower it down just by the button.
Well, not all of us have Macs. I do it for my other stuff, but like for live streaming, I always use a desktop.
You got your machine, yes, but it probably does have one, and that's something you could mess with too, right? Is see it lower. Do you have like an external monitor? Does it have like where you can a dial or anything where you can lower the brightness?
Mine does. Oh wait, probably. Oops. Are you still there?
There you go.
I hit something I shouldn't have. I'll stop right there. There's buttons on there I shouldn't be pushing. That's what happened.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a brightness setting you can probably do, but you maybe not want to do it while you're doing a live stream.
Yeah, Christina says don't do that. That was a very dumb idea. All right. I hope everybody got something out of the lighting section. If you guys have any questions about lighting, just go ahead and put them in there like our friend has been doing the whole time. Thank you so much, Ann Stewart, for asking questions and living in Minnesota, Montana. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I wonder if that's the same person.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
Two
And Stu
different
was a different
channels.
person. It was just hard to tell. You know, I
Well,
love eyes,
appreciate
man.
the comments. We appreciate the comments and keep
I
them coming.
do.
If you guys have questions, we would love to answer them.
Oh, I love answering questions live. We're 30 minutes in, and I'm sure so many people are waiting to get their channels reviewed. Matter of fact,
we had a few channel reviews submitted, but a few of them did not put their channels on. So I've only sent you the ones that actually have the channels, and I believe it's both of
this
the people
one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's waiting for her channel review, which we're going to do right now. Here we go. Can you see it?
I can see it.
#1 relocation team living in Missoula. I hope I was saying that right. Missoula, Montana.
Missoula. Scroll back up for a second. I want to see.
Okay. Oh, are you gonna test her QR code?
I just want to see where it's going.
Yeah, me too. We're testing it out, man.
Goes right to a squeeze page. It looks like kind of, let's see, some kind of.
Oh yeah, see, look, share your info with Dina Filkins. Here you go, and then you just add. Oh, see, that's brilliant.
Yeah, popped right up. Looks great.
That's brilliant.
The thing I love about
interactive.
Yeah, the thing I love about her banner is you look at it, you know exactly what she's doing.
Yep.
With the arrows and everything pointing to Missoula, Montana. Which
I love that QR code so much, Joe. I think I want to do that in our banner.
Let's do it. We'll have that go to
that.
channel review.
We're ripping off your idea, dude. We love it.
Yeah. Great.
The only thing I would probably change about this, I love the little map and everything. The only thing I would change is to have the background image this area of Montana.
Yeah, because it's gorgeous up there.
Yeah, Montana's like everybody loves it there, you know, except for in the winter. My aunt and my cousins live up there. It's always snowing. It like snows in August.
So I like that, but I like even more meet us in person and there's a Zoom link.
First thing.
I love that.
Yep.
Like that right there is amazing.
Good call to action right from the beginning. The only thing I would tell you to do, because YouTube, I know this is just a YouTube thing, they hate short links. You know, this bit.ly link, just give it the real link. That's the only thing I'd tell you to change. All right, let's see what it says. We are all about living in Missoula, Montana, moving to Montana. Okay, you've keyword stuffed this top paragraph to death. And I'm sure some SEO expert told you to do it like this. Please don't do this. Why, Joe? Why do we tell people not to do this?
So the biggest reason is Google and YouTube hate that. They don't want you to keyword stuff anything. It's meant to be for a viewer to read and for them to understand. The algorithm, YouTube knows everything about your videos. They know everything about your channel. When you upload stuff, it understands all of the content without you even having to do anything. So it already knows all that stuff. So what their goal is that they want you or the viewer to stay on their thing longer. So they are catering everything to that viewer. So you want to talk in natural language like you and I are talking right now and have that be it. Don't keyword stuff. They do not like it and it does not help you.
No. And at one time it would have. This strategy was something that people used when that was a thing that actually worked on YouTube. And it did work at one specific time. But that ship has sailed for many years. Yeah. Long ago. But people still to this day teach it and say this is the way that you get found on YouTube, and you know this is really good for search and this is really good for SEO, and it's not. They're selling you a load of crap.
Yeah, if they're telling you not to do it, YouTube is telling you not to do it, and Google owns YouTube, and you're searching on Google. Obviously, if you want play by their rules, you're going to get better results. So they're highly discouraging that, and sometimes it can go to where you're getting banned. So you definitely don't want to do that.
And you don't need to have your link to the YouTube channel, the subscribe. You don't need that. I would just have it that landing page where you have like the one that you have on your QR code. Just have it go here, and or your Zoom link.
Yep.
Or your Zoom link. That's what I would put in this links section.
And then I would change maybe just a little bit at the top there of the about, and instead of we're all about living in Missoula, like change it to what the viewer, can expect, and like what, there's
thinking about moving to Missoula, Montana. This channel is going to be right for you. We have all the videos that cover everything you need to know about the suburbs and moving to or relocating all through the Missoula, Montana area. Boom,
yep.
Done.
Yep. I like it. Now it has meet us in person, but then it has one person on there. So is this a team, or is this like, because the profile picture is one person, but then they're talking as if there's many people. It's nitpicking, but if they know that that to me is like, am I going to talk to you, or am I going to talk to someone else?
Or someone in the team.
Yeah.
Well, it says relocation team, so I'm assuming it's a team.
So what I would do to kind of help clarify that is either have the team in the profile picture, or put them in the channel art.
She's cute as a button.
It's a good picture though. I mean, I definitely think the profile picture is great. A lot of pointing.
Yep, nice clear image to look at. So good profile picture. We've gone over the about section. We've gone over her banner. All right, so let's just talk about these last three videos that she did. Let's go there. So let's do this one right here. What do you want to say about this one on the far right? It's 34 minutes and 32 seconds. Things to do in downtown Missoula, Montana, living in Missoula, Montana.
So the first thing right off the bat is you're using on your thumbnail, you're using your title in there, and you're basically saying it twice, like downtown Missoula, and then things to do in downtown Missoula. And then you have, living in, which is a whole nother thing. And so if you're going to do a downtown tour or something like that, I would focus more on like something iconic in Missoula that you could take a picture of and have an arrow going to that. And if you want to point at something or whatever, but I would look at like maybe some channels that do those types of things where they're talking about a specific thing and mimic the thumbnail if it's getting a lot of engagement and views. And maybe your picture isn't on that thumbnail. But the other thing that I'm struggling a little bit with is kind of like the spacing of the font and the color of it.
I don't think she has a specific font. So I would tell you this. I would pick one font and stick to that font for the rest of your life. Mine happens to be Chunk 5. I've used Chunk 5 from the beginning of YouTube, and I've stuck with it. No, I take that back. There was another one I used for a little while, and then I went to Chunk 5. You can go back and you can see, because you have all these different kinds of fonts. I would pick one font and stick with it. I'd pick some branding colors and stick to those. Like follow this like olive greeny color as an outline for all of your font. That's
the other thing, is that like the red text on a thumbnail, like it makes it really hard to read. And like if you go back up just to the middle one, living in Montana, like that font right there is perfect. Like you can read it easily. The views are more than both of those because I think there's a little bit more clarity. They have some mountains. They have like the thumbnail is like more catching, and sure enough, it's gotten better views. I wonder though if she were to remove herself completely and have the rest of that landscape, if they would get more views.
I don't know if she knows Will Friedner. Do you know him? He's got like there's some thumbnails that you should probably take a look at. He keeps it pretty simple. It's usually an image of Montana and some words on it.
Yep.
And the other thing I want you to be aware of is you're doing double titles. And I'm sure somebody along the way told you, because I've heard it before, if I do double titles, it gives me more SEO juice. It gives me more Google juice. Something else.
They're gonna see it. Yeah.
You'll be up on search. You'll be higher ranking on search. All of that was true in 2015. That hasn't been that way since 2015. Don't do that anymore. The thing is that people can still find you in search on YouTube without you having to make double titles. All you had to say is that all you had to say with this is things you need to know when living in Montana, or things you need to know when moving to Montana. You left it like that. That would have been just fine. Or things they don't tell you when you move to Montana. This would have been a little bit more successful. One more thing too is that your image right here is cut off because you took a picture with probably like this up and down, and it took off your shoulder, and then you put your image on there and it looks like somebody cut your arm with a pair of scissors. If you're going to use this photograph, just blow it up, make it even bigger so that part of your shoulder isn't showing where it's cut off.
Right. The whole idea, if you're going to do that, is there's a rule of thirds, and you want to take a third of that thumbnail for you. And like, I would even bring yourself up higher and make yourself bigger. And then you have a third for, the rest of it, or 2/3 for the rest of your thumbnail. But you want to kind of, when you're designing them, do it in the rule of thirds, because it's just how people look when they're trained to look at, stuff. Your eyes look a certain way. And so if you are going to put yourself in there, just remember that. And then it's like, okay, if you don't want to be in the middle, then you have two sides that you work with that are a third and a third, or off to the right or off to the left. But definitely that's one of Christina's biggest pet peeves, is when your arm's cut off from that. So if you
burns my soul. But I mean, like, you got to make your noggin really big.
Which would fix that, because you wouldn't see past the shoulder.
I'm going to pull up Graham Stephan. I'm going to show you how big. Your actual facial image is so big that you can see the whites of your eyes easily on a cell phone image, like that little tiny thumbnail image on a cell phone. Like, you want to be able to see it.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So I just wanted to show.
Okay, let's look at his thumbnails really quick. Look how big his noggin is. You see how it's taken over 1/3? 1/3, 1/2 over here. I mean, he's got a big old nugget right there, big noggin taking over the screen. So just look at it that way.
Yep. It will help all around. But the whole idea is really to spend some time, and we've talked about this a lot, but a lot of people just upload a thumbnail as kind of an afterthought, and they upload it like, well, I've spent all this time making this video and I really want this video to do well, but then
I'm at the Home Depot to buy a house, of all things.
Then they put any like time or effort into the actual thumbnail.
And I do my thumbnails before I even film them. Before I even film the video, I get my thumbnail done. But you can see I'm literally taking up like almost half of this thumbnail, but I wanted to make it nice and clear and concise. Little tip, if you happen to have ChatGPT 4, I've been doing my backgrounds with ChatGPT, and they've gotten higher click-through rate recently. So I used to make this isn't ChatGPT. It just happens to look that way because I've always made thumbnails that way.
But now it's for you.
Now it does it for me. Yeah, these are all ChatGPT, these backgrounds. Oh, and little clue too. You probably wonder why I'm using the exact same face on every single one of these live streams. I use it because people click on it.
Yeah. If it works,
so used to it.
If it works, don't change it.
If it works, don't change it. Yep. Yes, indeed. Just wanted to throw that out there. All right, I hope that helped you out a little bit. Get you started. Get some good advice there to get you going. All right, we got one more to show here. Da, 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 da. We got living in North Utah. Living in North Utah. New videos every week. Subscribe. Learn about living in North Utah. All right. I like their image with the purple background. I kind of like it, you know?
Yeah.
Normally I'm not a monochromatic kind of person, but I like it. I dig it.
They also have the purple that they're wearing, so it's kind of cool. It's complementary.
Yeah. It all flows together. They obviously have a branding pattern. I don't necessarily think there's a value proposition in the banner itself, though. Because what are they getting for you? New videos every week. Subscribe to learn. But what are they subscribing to? Learning and give them a value that makes them want to subscribe. So mine is like real estate for everybody. I mean, it's just because I talk about everything. What is your value proposition to them? Are you relocation specialists? Or what is it that they're going to get from watching your channel? Right? That's what I would do. What do you have to say?
I concur. Obviously, they've changed the subscribe and the little button and all that stuff. It's not there anymore. So just update it. Hey, if we're going to do a QR code, we can update ours too.
I know, right? When I need to do it, I've been saying that for like 3 weeks. I was going to change it out and I keep forgetting. But yeah, you don't need the subscribe button on here. It's not necessary. There's a big button right here. It says subscribe on it.
Yeah. The other thing is Northern Utah is really incredible. There's a lot of beautiful areas up there. I don't know if they're covering the whole valley up there or if there's different things, but that you could still have that same purple, but maybe some more of the skyline of, different things rather than, it's kind of broken out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, and then on their profile picture, I think they could go bigger.
Yeah, I agree. Where their faces kind of almost take up each side of them, almost one half of the circle. Yeah. So just widen it out. I agree with that. They're just too tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Too tiny, tiny, tiny. All right. So let's look at their about section real quick. This channel is all about living in North Utah, moving to North Utah and relocating to North Utah. First sentence right there. You didn't have to put North Utah 3 times. That's keyword stuffed. We are covering living in North Utah, suburbs moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a paragraph. In 2 sentences, you've said North Utah. YouTube knows exactly what you're doing, which is keyword stuffing, and it does not work.
Yeah. Write that more for someone that's acted like a human that's going to read it as what they're going to get from your channel, as if you're having a conversation with them.
This is just an old way of how people used to try to game the system, and it doesn't work anymore. And if anybody was to click on that, as a person, as a human, I'd be like, why did they write North Utah 1,000 times? Do you think they're stupid? That's what I would say to myself.
Right.
What are they doing?
Yeah. Do they know where they live?
Right. Because this was written for robots, not for humans. But write it for humans and you'll have a better turnover. And then the other thing is that your next thing is, if you want to know everything about eating, sleeping, working, playing, your job here is, and I'm assuming that your channel is to turn these people into people that want to buy a house.
Yeah. Getting leads.
Yeah. Getting leads that are warm leads that want to talk to you because you understand the real estate market in Northern Utah. No one gives your channel isn't about eating, sleeping, working, playing. It's about selling homes or buying homes or relocating there. So make this paragraph reflective of that.
Yep. I concur.
Yep. I would take off your social media stuff here unless you have a humongous following on Facebook. There's no reason to do that. The only reason you want to bring them off platform is to book a call with you. Let's see where this thumbnail, this link is taking you to.
Probably going to MLS.
It's just a generic website. You need to have a landing page that this is just their company website. I would have a landing page that takes them to a place where they actually have to fill out their information, that or some kind of Calendly where they can book a call with you.
Yep. It's very simple, one click, and they have one thing they do. Either they book a call or they fill out the information, giving you their contact info for you to reach out to them.
I concur. All right, let's take a look at their thumbnails real quick. See here. I want to see this. So one thing that there's a lot. I'm just going to show this one right here. So the title on this one right here is way over 65 characters. And the only reason I know that without even having to count the letters is see how everything you need, and then it gets all truncated off. That's why I always tell everybody, try to keep your titles under 65 characters so they don't get truncated off, right? The other thing is that when you're looking at a thumbnail, you never want to repeat the title in the thumbnail itself. They can read the title, give them a reason to click. And that imagery that you use on a thumbnail should reflect what the title is about. And it should be so simple for someone to know what it's about just by looking at it within a half a second. You don't need words. If you need words, then you're not conveying that image correctly. What do you say, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I think that a couple things that, just like you said, looking at a thumbnail, you have a split second to look at it. And if you don't immediately understand and know what it is, then you need to work on it. And without words. The other thing that I would take, I can't read, is it watch now on the very far, like they have watch now and subscribe on their thumbnails. Like you don't need those things. Take that stuff off and really come up with something that's more eye-catching with selling that story of, okay, top 10 reasons to move to Utah or to Salt Lake City. Don't say that because you have that in your title. And I would change the title too. I would change the title to something, the top 10, things people don't tell you about Salt Lake or something like that. Like make it more juicy.
But even if she wanted to keep it vanilla, top 10 reasons is juicy. People still, because they like listicles, honestly, Joe. I think that's okay. But I would take the 2023 off because 2023 is almost over.
Right, because I was just going to say that, like you have 2023, everything and then so it's like if you're going to do that, or if you want to readjust.
Hey friends, and welcome.
Okay, a couple. So like everything you need to know. Like that would be more, in my opinion, that's more juicy than the top 10. Or you do everything you need to know, 10 reasons to move to Salt Lake. You could definitely work with the title to bring it down to that, closer to that 65 character length. But more, like even more important, I think, is that thumbnail, right? There's so much going on to it. What can you do to adjust that?
Boy, am I glad we clicked on this.
Me too.
The framing on their the video
way low, and I don't know because of, but maybe it's so I don't know how far they have or what, like depending on what they're filming with and the camera. But if they're doing it with a phone or if they're doing it with a DSLR, they may need a wider angle lens if they don't have that much. Or they could
just turn their camera down.
Well, yeah, I mean, or lower it a little bit, but maybe they have words or something going along the top of them.
Yeah, I don't see any words going on over top of them.
Just a little.
I'm just scrubbing through it really quick.
Yeah, see, they had a little bit of words right there. It would be better if they were to bring that up and then they do a lower third.
Correct.
With that text.
Yeah, it's just odd looking.
Just very odd looking. Right.
It's just not
kind of
typical.
Not.
It doesn't look like the natural flow of a video. You just look very tiny. The wall is taking up more of the space than you guys. And since you're the guys, you guys are the focus. You're talking.
Yeah.
You want them to focus in on you and not the wall texture. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Get some B-roll going there. And if you're
Yeah,
going to do this, make sure that you have your, oh, there they are. Never mind. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I would do, I agree with you. I would angle that down or lower the camera, either one.
Right. Whatever's easier. Because they may not have a, like they may only have so much space where the table's at, probably where they have the camera. So they can't really lower it. So they can just tilt it. Tilt it a little bit. Little bit. But that actually kind of goes with your thumbnails too. You guys are really tiny and in the corner. And your images should take up 1/3 of the thumbnail. So your personal image, they should be able to see the whites of your eyes.
Right.
Yep. So yeah.
I think they like really a couple little tweaks on that top 10 thumbnail. It could be a really good thumbnail.
I think this could be a really good, I think this could pop off for them. Honestly, if they redid the title and shortened it up and then redid the thumbnail, I think it would pop off.
Yeah, you could have, they have like a little airplane or whatever. You could add like a map going to Salt Lake City with a check mark of like a green check mark or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I just would study up on some thumbnails on other
really
channels.
Busy.
Excuse me?
I said the thumbnails are really busy.
Very busy. Oh, look, the arm cut off.
Yeah.
That's a burns Christina's rear end. You can't do that. It looks like someone chopped off your elbow. Yeah. They're probably just new. They've never done it, you know? It takes a hot minute to like actually these are getting a little bit better, but I just take off that watch now and subscribe. You don't need that. Everybody knows that's watching on YouTube. They're watching now and they know to subscribe. This would make sense back in the day when YouTube first started to tell people to subscribe on everything because it wasn't part of the culture, but it is now. It's part of the culture on all social media sites to subscribe or follow or whatever.
Go back up to the top there for a minute. I wanted to see something.
Which where? Right here?
Go scroll down just a little bit.
Scroll down just
the middle one. Okay, so no, up one, just where they because they got 22 2.2 views. Like that's more like in a thumbnail automatically more intriguing. And if you got rid of those couple little things, it obviously popped off. So like that, like what I guess what we're talking about is when you find something that's working or that does well like that, like look at the pattern and mimic that. Like what Christina was saying like a minute ago is look at the reason I use the same face on every single one is because people click on it, people do it. So if you notice that you uploaded something 7 days ago and it's got 100 times, 1,000 times more views than some of your others, maybe you need to go back and look at what that was that got people to click on it. I have my suspicion. I would imagine that it's because you have the temple, the Mormon temple in the background, and then about being like non-Mormon living in Utah.
What's it like?
That's a very good, like, what is it like?
Intriguing.
I want to click on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's the whole point. All of these titles, whenever you're making them, you have to find out what's going to intrigue the person watching. And that to me is intriguing. And that's why it got clicks. But if you could just tighten up this thumbnail just a scotch, I think I'd move you guys over to the right more, make you a little bit bigger, have a really clear image of the temple in the background, get rid of those words, keep the emoji with the exclamation point, but have an arrow pointing to the church. Get rid of that watch now and subscribe. And I bet you have a winner. I bet you that one even pops off even more.
Yep. I agree.
I concur.
Yeah.
Small tweaks, big peaks. That's a Daryl Eves thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, look. Hey, party people. Love the studio setups. Yeah. All right, here we go. And we got, I usually dim the brightness of my screen when I'm streaming to make it less obvious. Yeah, I need to do that. Right now, I feel like I'm baking in the sunshine because I have
Yeah.
a red light on.
You got a little light going on there.
I
But
got a
the
little-
stream was about light, so we had
Yeah.
to do that.
Yep. Blinded by the light. Anyway. All right. If you guys haven't yet and you would love to check us out, you can go to the Real Estate Video Geeks, realestatevideogeeks.com, and check out our promotional video, our sales page. I was trying to pull up the website.
What it is.
Yeah, and then you can check us out. I apparently don't know how to spell real estate. Check us out. We were joke about our spelling. Both Joey and I have the worst spelling.
You're not great at that, but that's okay.
No, we have other. We can make a video. That's what we could do.
We have other superpowers.
Yes, and every real estate agent has their own superpower. Here we are.
Well,
Did you pull it up, or is that
Yep.
me?
I think you did it. I can see it.
Oh wow, that is me. Here we go. Look at that. Boom! You go right here, and you can see all of us. We have how many videos do we have on here?
Over 75. Plus, we're going to add about, I think, 20 for the AI ChatGPT stuff.
Yeah. So
And
we're adding sections to people that are in the we have 3 levels. So if you're in the legacy group, you get access to more training on top of the training that you get. So we have AI training coming out, we have live streaming training coming out, and we have affiliate marketing and sponsorship training coming out. So there's a lot coming out if you're in that legacy group. Extra on top of it. That's not an extra price. It just comes with the
included
in this price, the lifetime membership for $3,000. And we're not going to do the $3,000 lifetime membership forever. Just FYI, Joe and I were talking about that the other day. So get in now before the prices change once again.
Right.
Anything
And
you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is, the new year is approaching quickly. People are putting goals together, getting a studio set up, maybe doubling down on YouTube is one of your goals. One thing, and if you watch this video on our page here, it talks about what Christina went through to get to where she is now. And we are here to help you with this course to avoid all of those pitfalls and time delays so that you can get going and make more money through YouTube lead generation.
Yep. And if there was a mistake, I made it and doubled down 3 times thinking this is the way.
Like, no, this is it.
This is it, because some coach told me and it ended up being wrong. just a hint.
Okay.
Yeah, keyword stuff together. Have 5 different titles, so it really gives it Google juice. All horse pucky. So, all right, everybody. If you didn't get a chance to get your channel reviewed this week, or you forgot to put in your channel name, just go ahead and fill out the form again. We'll do it again next week. If you have a question, there's actually a link in the description and in the post that you saw on Facebook. And anytime you can ask your question, you can ask that anonymously, and then we'll answer it live on the stream. So I appreciate you guys coming out and spending the last hour with us, and I look forward to seeing you on the course. Anything you want to add there, Joe?
No, you guys just keep making videos. We're excited that you're going down this journey.
Yep, we are. I love it. I love it. All right, everybody. Bye.
See ya.
Be good. Stay